YouTube, welcome back to another video. I got a haircut. Okay. Today's video I'm going to talk a little bit about me because I haven't really been talking about myself in these last couple of days. I haven't really been talking to a lot of people. I mean, I talked to a few people this week and today. Well, more so yesterday. But I just want to talk about my want to talk about my anxiety and my depression and suicidal thoughts and stuff like that. And by the way, if anyone who happens to be suffering from depression or anxiety or suicidal thoughts, big trigger warning right now. I want to let that be known. Because I wouldn't say what I'm going to say is going to be like gruesome, because like obviously it didn't get too bad. I mean, it did. I ended up in the hospital. I did. But basically, I'm going to talk about the whole like full yard, like the whole 9 yards of why why it took me so long to get help, and I'm still getting help. I'm in therapy right now. It's an everyday type of situation, Okay. So, back in December, so I'm gonna take you back to December, and then I'm gonna take you back to when I was a teenager. So I was, well, more so back in November. Back in November, I was working at a job called Shoprite, grocery store, and basically I was overworked. I was exhausted. Pretty much doing what a regular grown-up does, working nonstop, making their money. For me, it got a little overwhelming. I was being harassed. I was being assaulted. I got called the N-word by a supervisor. It got really overwhelming to the point where nobody, coworkers was not really understanding what was going on. They kind of looked at me like I was a problem. And they kind of made that very loud and clear. They didn't have to say it, but they made it extremely clear that I was a problem, I was an issue. And the supervisor she made it extremely clear. She did not like me. I didn't like her. As I said before, she harassed me. She called me the N-word. I cursed her out. I'm not going to sit here and say like everything was all her fault. Obviously I had some input into everything too. And my mom did her best. This is not like a bashing video, and I know I said this in the past video, but it's not a bashing video. My mom and my brother did their best. They did what they could to try to understand what the hell I was going through, but they didn't get it. And ended up, I had put in my 2 weeks in November right after Thanksgiving. Then I took it back because my mom was like, if you quit your job, I'm gonna turn your phone off. So I was like, fine, I'll stay. I'll stay. And pretty much I was torn between two worlds, where my job was trying to basically get rid of me. They didn't want me there, and then well, technically three worlds, because I was kind of torn in the middle, because my job wanted me to, they wanted me to get fired, but they really couldn't fire me because I was at the time I was in the seafood department, and I was getting mentally and physically abused by them, by their words, and stuff like that. I had one manager. I told the manager that I was in therapy, and he literally was like, "Why you in therapy? You got me." And I was like, okay. And that particular moment got me really over it. And then another incident was when this woman, Jody, had the audacity to come to me and tell me, she was like, what happened? Because there was one incident where I was supposed to come in, but I was in my therapy program, and I was not going to miss my program. I mean, even though that they was rude. They was like if you're not going to be able to make it, make sure you call. But I was not going to miss any sessions. And on top of it, was I think they said it was like if you miss 3 days, it was kind of like it kind of reminded me like I was back in school, like because basically if you're absent like like 5 times in a row, the school is gonna give you like a limit. Like, they're gonna be like, they're gonna tell you like if you're absent one more time, we're gonna like call diapers and wasn't like that in the program, but basically like basically what I'm trying to say is like if you were out, 5 times in school, they would call diapers. In this particular incident, if you were out 3 times, they were gonna basically they want to cut your insurance off, and you basically have to pay out of pocket, and they're gonna kick you out, basically, because obviously they're gonna see that you're not in it to get better, and obviously and stuff like that. So I didn't come to work that day. I basically like took a day off, and I told my supervisor, told the manager, I gave them a note and everything, a doctor's note that from the program, and they still scheduled me anyway. And I was just like, what are you guys doing? Like, what the hell? I remember there was one incident where I had to literally call out, and I was supposed to be, I think I was supposed to be at work around like 8 o'clock or something. So I had called like a whole hour. I remember I had basically stayed, I was having trouble sleeping, so I basically like stayed up. And just so I wouldn't, like, miss the call, or, be able to so I can make the call. So I made the call, and I told them that I wasn't coming in. I also wrote a note saying like, hey, I have an obligation. I have to be here at a certain time, so I'm sorry I won't be able to make it. And of course, they were pissed off at me. Of course, as with any other job, most jobs, some jobs will be understanding, and some jobs just won't. They just don't give a fuck. They want a body there. Like, they consider you they look at you as either a body or a number, which is kind of messed up. But this is the world we live in. We live in a really twisted, messed up world we live in. Sad to say. So basically, this woman in the deli, she basically was like, I need help. I need you to come in Saturday. And I remember I had 2 days off, and that was like extremely rare. That rarely happened. Like, I remember I would get like 2 days off, maybe like within like 3 to 4 months, and I was just like, that is really rare. And I ended up coming in on my day off, and that was the day that I decided to put in my 2 weeks. I came home that night. I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell my brother what I was going to do. I literally just went to my room. I remember I came in. My mom was like, how was it? And I literally was like, it was okay. Obviously my mom just didn't really understand at the time. She didn't really get it at the time, but she gets it now. Thank God. And it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair that I was dealing with all of this type of stress, and I was dealing with so much, and I was trying to do what everybody was telling me. You should have a job in the palm of your hand before you quit another job. I was trying to do that. I was trying to be patient. I was praying. I was trying to, doing everything in my power to make sure I did everything the right way, as so many other people, have told me in the past. I've heard it from my mother. I've heard it from my brother. I've heard it from my younger brother's mother. Long story. and I heard it from my aunt. I heard it from my uncle, and I heard it from my sister. And I get that. Like, you should always have a job in the palm of your hand, not in the mist of your fingers, where you could easily, like, you could either grab it, or it could either just miss. You could miss it. So at that particular point, I was done. I was like steaming at that point, and I was I was technically still suicidal, even though I was on medication. I was still extremely suicidal. Believe it or not, I could have easily tried to kill myself in December of 2019, but I didn't, because I prayed a lot. And I was just like, I'm not gonna let this damn horrible disease. And I was like, also, I'm not gonna die at Shoprite. I was like, I refuse. I refuse to kill myself while I'm technically still employed at a horrible place. So that happened, and then it just got to a point where I was done. So I had put in my 2 weeks. It was like after Christmas, and my last day was in January of 2020. So that's how I brought in 2020. I had quit my job. I was in the process of, going to therapy the following month in February. I was looking for work and doing everything in my power that I normally did, when I was out of work before. I've been out of work for almost 7 months now. This is actually the longest I've been out of a job because I've been working since 2017, so 18, 19, 20, for about 3 years. Well, actually, yeah, 3 years because I started working in February and February passed. So I've been working for almost 3 years, and I'm trying to get back into the workforce, and it's extremely hard, because like certain places I want to do, like I want to be like behind a desk. Like I'm tired of I'm older now. I mean, I'm acting like I'm 30, but like I'm a lot older now, and I want a stable job where I have good benefits and I'm able to stay there for like 15, 10, 15 years, 20 years or whatever, so I can, eventually live on my own and take on this world by myself, because obviously I'm not going to be able to live with my mom forever. But that particular, that whole incident just got me extremely overwhelmed. And it was a very cathartic moment for me when I quit because I felt free. I remember, when I quit that week, that first week, all I did was sleep because I don't think I said before, but I was working a lot, and there were days like going back into October to September to July where I would, they would give me crazy hours, and there were some days where I would literally, like, I would get off work and I'll get off work around like 10 o'clock and won't get home till like about 11 or 12. And I'll literally be in my head thinking, like, what's the point of even trying to go to sleep if I have to be at work at like 6 o'clock in the morning? So I would literally be days where I would literally just like stay up straight 24 hours. And it got to a point where it was just like I can't keep doing this. And then my mom and my brother started to worry about my weight because I'm still pretty heavy, so. And when I first got Shoprite, I wasn't as big as I am now. I was somewhat kind of like a little bit less, wasn't so heavy. And then, so my mom and brother was like, you need to start taking care of yourself. And I'm in my head thinking, like, how can I, at the time, I was like, how can I take care of myself where they constantly keep scheduling me crazy hours? And I try to tell them, like, can you please, like, give me less hours? But they're going to tell me, we need you here because we don't have no one else. And I'm in my head thinking, like, that's not my problem. Like, you need to hire more people. And the kicker is this, a little tea on this part. Every time they would get new people, they would constantly put new people either in the bakery or the deli. They never really, and mind you, I was in seafood, and it was only 3 people in the seafood department. During the summer of last year, it was literally 2 people in my department. It was me and my supervisor, because one person decided to quit or I think get fired or whatever, and it was just over the bullshit of life in general. And I just didn't get it. I was just like, we need more people here. I was like, you guys need to learn how to schedule people, but they're ignorant, they're stupid, and on top of it, they're cheap. So they don't want to give certain people hours. And I'm just like, dude, like, I need a break. Like, I need a break from like all this, crazy hours. And I'm like, the money was actually kind of garbage. I mean, like, my checks were like, sometimes some of my checks were like $300, $400. It would kind of go up and down. I remember one time I had one check that was like $600. My last check, like back like 7 months ago in January, was like $600. There was one time where my supervisor had went on vacation. They gave me his hours. They had of course, the week part, they had a talk to higher up and be like, oh, this black person is going to be taking over while Jamie's on vacation. My bad. I said his name. Anyway, but so and then but my checks were like flippity flop. I mean, yeah, to most people. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I was extremely grateful to have some type of income coming in and some good money coming in. But like I said, there were days where my checks would be like $300 and $400 and $300 and four. It was just so wishy washy. It was just too much, and it was just a lot of shit that was going on that I just didn't get. I didn't get it. I really didn't understand why. They didn't want to hire new people. They just thought that the job would get done because they were always because I would do everything. Basically, I was doing my supervisor's job. Basically, the only thing my supervisor did was just order stuff, and basically all I had to do was just I would cook shrimp, I would make seafood salad, make stuff salmon, stuff mushroom, stuff flounder, make sure the package case is good, make sure the frozen case is like at a good decent high. I was always, there were times when I had morning shifts. I would be putting fucking like 3 loads. Like we would have like I forget this, U-frames, and I would have to literally have to drag the U-frame into my department and I have to carry drag all 3 U-frames full of my stuff, like fish, frozen stuff, put it away, put it out in the frozen section, whatever. And I was doing a lot of the work, and on my supervisor, all he had to do was just be there, and just and whenever I did work with him, he would be doing paperwork, and I'm like, dude, basically your job is easy, and on top of it, not to put his business out there, but he was an alcoholic, and I'm in my head thinking dude, why is you drinking? You don't do shit. I should be the one drinking. What the hell? But anyway, it just got to a point where it was just overwhelming in general, and my depression got worse, and after I quit, it was manageable. Thank God. It was manageable, but going back to when I was a teenager, I always wondered why I was so different. It kind of made a lot more sense. I got diagnosed with depression and anxiety and suicidal thoughts because I was old. Because I remember when I was 16, 15, 16 years old, or 14 years old, 14, 15, 16, and onwards, I would just be so 1 minute I'm happy and I'm happy and I'm ecstatic, and the next minute I'm just sad as shit. I'm ready to cry, ready to get hit by a bus or a car, or take pills and just go to sleep and never wake up. That was tough in itself. It's just it's just extremely I wouldn't say it bothers me, it baffles me, I should put it. It's amazing that I went through all that and I somehow was able to survive, and I'm a very spiritual person, and I'm very connected with my higher power. My higher power is my Heavenly Father, Jesus Christ, but that's just me. I just believe I made it through. I mean, yeah, I had something to do with, making it through and not giving up and stuff like that. But there were times where I was so close, just giving up and stuff like that. And I'm just happy I didn't, because I got there's so much stuff I want to do. I love to sing, and I'm back on YouTube doing my thing, and yeah, but it amazes me that I made it through all that, and don't get me wrong, this past week I've been going through a lot in itself. Suicidal thoughts have popped into my head this week. Past 2 weeks, I should put it. Has it been easy that I've been going through this by myself? Yeah, it has. I have to really stop trying to see if I can, you know, figure shit out by myself. I really gotta start like talking to my mother, and it's hard to talk to my brother. Another story, another day. Another story, another day. But it's hard in general, and it's hard. You know, life in general, it's easy, but it's also hard. It's beautiful, but it's rough, and you just gotta deal with the ups and downs, just like almost everybody else. Yeah, but I said my piece, and I wanted to say my little stories and stuff like that. But I hope this video gives you guys some type of like peace, and it gives you a little bit of insight of what I go through on a daily basis. And yeah, and my God, my skin is so light. I'm so brown. And my hair, yeah, I finally cut my hair, guys. I know I look totally different, but I'm actually kind of getting used to it. Like 2 days ago, I was like, who is this person? But I just wanted to just talk a little bit about, you know, my situation, you know, dealing with depression, and you know what caused it over the years. Oh, I didn't even say, real quick. So like, little story time. My grandfather had passed away when I was about like 11 years old. So I would probably say that was kind of like the pushing point. I feel like I always had depression as a kid, but I don't think it intensified when I became an adult, basically. And I struggled with that from 11 to 8 to about 17, long time. And I think that's one of the reasons why I ended up having all these different mood swings. And I was, you know, I did everything in my power so I can be happy, because I have to always like never tell no one. I have to always try to be happy. And I remember one time I was reading something that Jim Carrey wrote, and he was like, your body cannot be happy 24/7. That's impossible for your body to be happy 24/7. Your body has emotions. It has, you know, your body has sad emotions, happy emotions, anger emotions, and stuff like that. All the above and stuff like that. And your body, sometimes your body, no, not human sometimes, but your body in general can't process. You know, your body can't process the. You know, it can't be happy 24/7. Basically, what I'm trying to say, it cannot. You know, it's impossible for somebody to be happy 24/7. I mean, like, it's possible, but at the same time, it's like, you're human, for God's sake. You have to have some type of like, I don't know, some type of like, you know, something gotta be right. Something gotta be going on in your life to be so you can be happy every day. Because we're human, and we go through emotions just like any other human being. But I just wanted to put that out there. But overall, I hope everyone's having a great, it's like midnight where I'm at. And if whatever time you see this video, morning, afternoon, nighttime, midnight, whatever, I hope you are striving forward and being the best you that you can be. And yeah, and doing what you got to do in life. Okay? I hope you're having a great day, great night, and great morning. And be positive, love yourself, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace out. Oh.